And then, of course, the last time they Chase Center, when Fox throws a trap on Stephen Curry, he couldn't even get a shot up, and they win at Chase Center 134-133. So the last three matchups come down to 1 point between the Kings and the Warriors, and tonight it's win or go home. Let's bring in our main man, our brother from another mother. Too bad he doesn't get to come to the dental office. I was hoping he was coming to get some Novocaine and, get a root canal or whatnot, but instead we got to go to the G1C and deal with that beam and everything. Kenny Caraway, ESPN 1320. Shask, what?
I wanted, last time we talked to Kenny, he was, asking us a lot and saying a lot of stuff. And I'm just curious, has your wrist healed from trying to backhand the Warriors and their dynasty? And you got it broken last year in that Game 7 with that 50 burger that Steph dropped. Has it healed up well?
Well, first of all, what's going on to my brothers? How y'all doing, man?
Hi, Kenny.
It healed just fine. One of the things, and the theme of today that we'll talk about a lot is, the Kings are a team that are at the beginning of their story. The Warriors, well, they're finished. Okay, this is what it is. They're finished. Now, look, you got 4 championships. Nobody's disrespecting that. We would love to have 4 championships here. You got, a moment in history. Nobody's taking that away from you. But that doesn't take away from the fact that it is over. It's done. This thing is over. It's a wrap. Don't get it twisted. Hell, even if you win tonight, you'll probably lose on Friday. Hell, if you win Friday, you'll probably get beat down in the first round or sometime. This thing's over. The championship dreams are done. So they did heal. My wrist did heal, but the Kings are at the beginning of their story. It's the final chapter for these Warriors. Don't get it twisted.
Hey, Kitty, how big of a game? That's cute. That's a nice little. That's pretty cute. I'm glad you believe that. How big is this game up there in Sacramento? No, how big though? Because I feel like even if the Kings win this game and lose Friday, that feather in your cap and that A hat that you're rocking there looks pretty clean. I always like the Hazels hats. Couldn't rock them because of what happened with the rally bucket though too. But that feather in the cap. How proud would Kings fans be to win this game tonight? Would that erase what happened last season?
Not. Well, you talk about last season. It would go a long way to help with that. I mean, because you're sitting in the Warriors home, man. So that's a good thing. But as far as this season in particular, me and Dang, we talk about this often. Like, you win this game today, but you lose on Friday. There's still a lot of people that look at the season as a failure. Because you didn't make the playoffs, and that was the goal to get to the playoffs. So, like in that scenario that you laid out, win this game tonight. We like the beam. We're gonna have a good old time in Doco. It's gonna be a good thing. But if we don't follow that up with a win on Friday, there's gonna be a lot of people disappointed for sure.
Why is the team better defensively in the last couple of months here, the Kings?
Man, my very first thought about that has got to be Keon Ellis. Keon Ellis is phenomenal, and I have these. He is phenomenal on the defensive end, and I was kind of slow to come around. He's an undrafted guy, a two-way player, and I liked him as a player, but I didn't know what he would be in the NBA. But he's a tenacious defender. He's only I think he's about 6'3", but he's got like a 6'8" wingspan. Like, he's long and wiry. I've said a couple of different times, and maybe I'm jumping out the window, but he has all defensive team ability on the perimeter, the way he guards and the way he makes things difficult. I don't know how you guys necessarily, if you feel this way about this guy I'm about to speak of, but he kind of reminds me of a GP2. The way he is versatile, and he's athletic, and he's tenacious on the defensive end. So what he's been able to do on the perimeter has really helped out. One of the things that's always been an issue with the Sacramento Kings, in my opinion, under De'Aaron Fox, is they would always ask Fox to do everything. And you look around at the other point guards, whether it's Steph, whether it's Ja, Trae Young, Luka, Dame, they were never asked to average 30 and guard the best guard every day. And that's what they asked De'Aaron Fox to do for years. And I used to say, hey, hide him out in the corner like they do Ja Morant. Hide him out in the corner of the weakest offensive player like they do Trae Young. Or I'm not taking shots at Steph, but let him play, the weakest perimeter guy so Steph can go to work. And now with Keon Ellis there, they've been able to do that. But here's the caveat with that. De'Aaron Fox, in my opinion, is an all-defensive player. led the league in steals, top 3 in deflections. He is a hellacious on-ball defender, but he doesn't have to always guard the best offensive perimeter player. And that's unlocked his defense as well, which is why you're seeing some of these things team defensively then become better. Keegan Murray is a hell of a defender. And Davion Mitchell, who we all know he can defend, but he had an up-and-down season through half of the season. Since the All-Star break, he's found his groove, and he's starting to get in his defensive bag as well as his offensive bag. So what's really happening, a long-winded way of saying it is, what's really happening is they're starting in the mold into the creation of Mike Brown and what Mike Brown is all about as being a coach. Hellacious on the defensive end, especially on the perimeter. And he's found some guys who can play that style of basketball.
I'm talking to Kenny Caraway, ESPN 1320, breaking down Warriors and Kings. He'll be in the building at the G1C for this play-in tournament game between the Kings and the Warriors. Kings at 9, Warriors at 10. And Kenny, I'm glad you stole my thunder there with Keon Ellis. I'm so impressed with this young man, and I'm just thinking about all the different guys who could guard Stephen Curry tonight. Like we were talking about, Wiggins is going to be the primary defender on De'Aaron Fox, and not having GP2 for this game could hurt the Warriors at times. I want Wiggins to be on the floor at all times when Fox is on the floor. When Fox takes a breather, I want Wiggins to take a breather. But on the flip side, will Keon Ellis get the first crack at Stephen Curry there, and then maybe alleviate some of that defensive pressure off of Fox, and then maybe you go off night coming off the bench? Because I feel like Keon Ellis is going to draw that assignment out Steph.
Well, it's really interesting. We were talking about this yesterday and trying to figure it out because, first and foremost, ain't nobody stopping Steph Curry.
No
Steph
doubt.
Curry's one of the greatest players to ever play. We got all the respect in the world for 30. Don't get it twisted. But what you want to do is you want to make it difficult. And the guy that's made it the most difficult in at least this season, especially since he's kind of, he's got his legs under him as an NBA player, is Keegan Murray. Keegan Murray's length and athleticism has seemed to bother Steph Curry. So we wonder where they'll start with, because everything that I said about Keon, everything that you guys have said about Keon is 100% true. But when you've got a guy like Keegan Murray, who you can put a little size on him and athleticism, and has a track record of making things difficult for Steph, maybe you start with him and you bring Keon in every now and then. What I've really looked at with this particular matchup and the way they defend nowadays is you've got 4 guys to throw at Steph. Once again, not saying you're going to stop the guy. The guy can go for 50 at any time. Ain't nobody stopping Steph Curry. But you got 4 options to maybe keep guys fresh and keep giving him different looks between Keegan, Keon, Davion, and I think Fox will get some time on him as well. Like I said, Fox is. We've been trying to push that candidacy for him to be an all-defensive player because he is a pretty damn good defensive ball player at that point guard position. So you got 4 guys that you can throw, get different looks. More importantly, maybe if you want Keon to be on him more times than not, Keon doesn't have to guard him for 40 minutes. You can pick your spots when Keon can get on them, with Keegan getting some time, Davion getting some time, and De'Aaron getting some time. So it's going to be a group effort, as always.
Also, real quickly, Kitty, the way the Kings pressured Steph last year in that series, pressing him 94 feet, there was a lot of times in the half court where the Warriors didn't get into their offense till about 15, 14 seconds left. I anticipate that as well, because that made it difficult for the Warriors to score the half court last year in that first-round series.
No, that's a Doug Christie special. Doug Christie is really big on picking up these guys full court, making them work. Don't giving them any easy inch. And once again, like we talked about Keon Ellis, they just have the personnel now to play that style of basketball. Are they better? I don't know. I don't want to go that far. But defensively, they clearly are better because they have the personnel that matches up with what Mike Brown wants to do, what Jordy Fernandez wants to do. When you talk about picking up full court, that's something Doug Christie, I'm sure, has implemented in what they want to do on the defensive end.
10 full minutes and no Draymond Sabonis talk. Just
I'll leave that alone.
Have at it.
Yeah.
Have at it.
I want to save that. I don't want to get Kenny started here.
Well, Kenny, you are one of the biggest Draymond, I would say, haters. I mean, but that's, to me, you're not a quote unquote hater of Draymond. You just try to present the other side of how other fans view Draymond Green.
Right word. Truther. That's what I am. I tell the truth when it comes to Draymond. The guy got a backpack on when he shoots the jump shot. Now look, when I talk about he's a truther, he is one of the best defensive players we've seen in this game. He is one of those guys. But I think he's on the downside of it, much like the Warriors in general. He's on the downside of his run. His run is over, okay? But I will give him this. With the Warriors playing good basketball, that has coincided with Draymond playing good basketball. I remember it was the Mavericks game I was watching on TNT a couple of weeks ago. He did a good job and helped close that game out. And, he has his moments. When he's good, he's really beneficial. When he's awful, he's awful. I don't know what Draymond we're getting tonight. I don't know if we're getting the Draymond that showed up in Game 2 of the series last year or the Draymond that showed up in Game 5. This guy had 21 points, was hitting three. He was Dale Ellis. I said, what the hell is going on? This guy out here shooting like Craig Hodges. What the hell is all about?
Hey, Draymond Green went 5 of 7 from the 3-point line against the Lakers last Tuesday. And in his next game against the Pelicans, he didn't even take a shot. So we don't know what we're getting from Draymond Green offensively. But we've been ever since I started working that pregame show, Kitty, when he's aggressive offensively, the Warriors are just a different team. When he scores those 10 to 12 points and makes a couple threes, it opens up the defense to where Curry and Kuminga and Wiggins can drive to the rack left and right. So his offense is very important. It may be as important as his defense tonight against Sacramento.
I've said this for years now, a decade at this point. If I'm going up against the Golden State Warriors, Draymond Green, and I know the way the offense works is not as simplistic as this, but Draymond Green will have to go for 25, 30 points. I want to see you go for 25, 30 points because that means that's less passes that your man is making a step for Clay. If you're wide open, I'm going to leave you open and let you shoot.
You can hit 25, 30 tonight. That would be incredible.
Incredible. Absolutely incredible. Which is the Draymond Green drop.
Incredible.
Thank you. Casey.
Well, what I'm saying to that is I will leave you open every time. I'm not going to pressure you and give you a lane so you can make a backdoor pass to Kuminga or Steph Curry. I'm going to leave you open. I'm going to force you to shoot the basketball. And if you are hitting, I'll tip my hat. I'll take my chances that you're not going to be hitting or that you're not even going to shoot the ball. And we can do whatever we want to do on the defensive end, much like Draymond does with what was that game when he was guarding Russell Westbrook and he just sat in the lane and rushed at the ball?
Oh,
yeah. That's the way I would play Draymond Green.
Well, break down the fans to me. Like, how much does this one mean to Kings fans? Because, we were talking about it. Like, I've got a lot of family that's moved from the Bay Area up to the Sacramento area, whether it's Auburn, Roseville, into Sac, Rockland. Like, they're all up in that area. Some, when their kids were really young, became Kings fans prior to the Warriors, being good. Some have moved up there while the Warriors were dominant, remained Warrior fans. Like, there's a lot of transplants. We know this. So, as a Kings fan who's been a Kings fan since day one, break down the psyche of the local Kings fan and how you view Warrior fans.
Oh, man. All right, we got some time. So, obviously, everybody knows up here we hate the Lakers, right? Lakers, I think if you did it's tough, man. The Lakers are definitely a team we hate, on the top level. I would say probably within the last 5 years, because it didn't start when the Warriors started winning, right? It didn't start, at that time. It was a little bit after that when we started to get some Bay Area transplants out here. And I think that the crowning moment, the defining moment that really pissed people here in Sacramento off was when we started to see Warriors gear in the Sacramento airport. For whatever reason, that started to piss us off. And I bring up the Lakers because the Warriors may have supplanted the Lakers as the number one enemy in Sacramento. We hate the Warriors. I remember last year when you guys won the series and you guys played against the Lakers. I remember I was listening because, I'm a roaster. I've been listening to my people. And you were like, no, I can't believe it. Kings fans, y'all going with the Lakers over the Warriors? This is supposed to be NorCal up. No. We don't like you. All right, don't get it. We don't like you. You're the number one enemy here. And if it came down to it, like we saw last year, hell, go LeBron, go AD, beat these Warriors, get them the hell out of here. So that is the energy that is going to be at the Golden One Center tonight. That's the energy that goes on from noon to 4 on D-Lo and KC. That's energy.
No, hold on, Casey, because you're starting to turn up a little bit. I'm going to have to turn you down real quick. You're a little too turned up right here. A little too turned up, Casey. Now, Shasky and I, How hated are we in Sacramento? Because I know how hated we are in Philadelphia, in Dallas. But I see the T-shirts up there.
I need my
see
royalties.
the empty collar. Yeah, where's our royalties at for the shoulder, the empty calories hoodies that you guys got up there?
You know I was right about that take, too.
Hey, man, it's a physical game.
Oh, yeah, ask Draper.
Now y'all worried about physicality?
Oh, no, Draper is. You saw your boy Draper on the post-game show, Kenny. Talking about it's too physical out there. It's bully ball out there. This is not enjoyable basketball. I don't know what he's on.
Green in Pelican Bay.
Hey, I thought Draper was from Philadelphia. We'll talk to him in a little bit. I thought he was from Philly. Tough. East Coast. Bad boys. Come on, man.
Hey, like Tupac said, as he was Birdie, when they were playing in the tournament, when Kyle was getting knocked around and Tommy Shepard was getting knocked around, he looked at the referee and said, "This is a man's game, right? It's a man's game. That's what we're doing here tonight, baby. It's a physical game, baby. It's playoff basketball."
Casey, you're cutting out left and right here. Last time the Kings won a playoff series was when?
Man, it's been a long time. I think it was 05.
It sounds like you're calling from 2005. What is going on with your connection?
Well, I'll tell you like this. On D-Lo and KC, noon to 4, we don't do all this phone calls next week. I'm trained. It's all good. We in 2024. I don't know what this cockamamie setup is right here. You come straight on the Zoom. You guys know what it is. You got your microphone hooked up. Got the screen on hooked up. Everything good. Hey, so I don't know what year this is.
Hey,
with this setup, but we don't have it on noon to 4.
Hey, Kenny, I'm just glad that the Sacramento airport finally got Wi-Fi. Even though we got to pay $4.99 for it, but we still finally got Wi-Fi at the airport up there.
We're not arguing about our airports.
Have fun up there at the T1C, man. Get out of here, man. And trust me, Warriors ain't losing this game because they do. I will not be on social media for 3 weeks.
Guys, look. Talk about this the way I started it.
We can't even hear you. One less Louis bag for you and Damien and upgrade your Wi-Fi. What is going on? What is going on?
Hey, Casey and D-Lo. Hey, they get out there with the Louis bags and the Gucci.
I mean, that's what I'm saying.
Them boys is fitted up, man.
And my guy had AOL dial-up.
Hey,
man. What are we doing?
Hey, man, them boys, I ain't gonna lie, man.
The way he dresses and then the Wi-Fi doesn't match the way the guy dresses.
I mean, they probably had to fit out last night about the G1. Hey, the playing tournament fit is gonna be hard.